Today we're going to be reading Harry Potter. I have watched the movies, I have played the game, Hogwarts Legacy. I've loved this series since I was a child, yet I have never even checked out the original source content except for when I was very young and decided,
oh, let me read Harry Potter.
And I thought it was super boring, especially after reading The Sea of Monsters. So, let's get into it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the beginning of Harry Potter. You can see that I have this thing up so far, and I'm only 54 pages in. I know a lot of people do not like the beginning of this book because Harry's with the Dursleys. And I think that your character has to go through something or you don't want to root for them. Like, if Harry was not going through something, would we be rooting for him as much? Like, if he would have got everything he would have ever wanted, would we have been like, oh yeah, we want Harry to do good. We want him to... Like, if he was deadly, we would not be rooting for him. We wouldn't. We'd be like, oh, dang, let's please have this kid get squashed by a troll in the bathroom or something, you know. But I'm really enjoying it. The writing, perfect for kids. I mean, that's exactly what the intended audience is. It's so far pretty early accurate to what happened in the movies, and I've never read the books before. And I'm really enjoying it. I feel like I really wanted to read the book because I'm gonna be like, oh, what's the real story? Like, what really happened? Because this is the original source content. So I'm like, okay, what really happened in Harry Potter? And yeah, so not much has happened yet. I don't know if I want to do spoilers or not, because I know not everyone has read them. I know there are people out there like me who haven't read these yet. But I know that BookTube just went through a craze of everyone reading them for some reason. So, let's go ahead and jump into some spoilers, and I will tell y'all some of my favorite quotes so far. I giggled when Professor McGonagall was like, after all he's done, after all the people he's killed, he couldn't kill a little boy. Like, she really threw this smack down on Voldemort. Like... And Dumbledore, when he was talking about Hagrid, and he said, I would trust Hagrid with my life. I was like, I would too. I would. All the homies of Hagrid. When they toasted to Harry Potter, the boy who lived. So good. I have some red tabs for things that Harry, Ron, and Hermione do. And if y'all can guess, because this is the beginning, and you read this book before, yeah, it's when Harry accidentally put Dudley in the snake exhibit. Yes, it is. I got some sad tabs too, for like Harry's not able to ask questions to the Dursleys about anything that happened to his parents, and that is so tragic. Like, imagine you're a child and you get dropped off at this doorstep of your aunt and uncle, you know your parents aren't alive, and they treat you like garbage.
And then he's like, well, what happened to my parents? And he was like,
we told you they died in a car crash, now don't ask any more questions.
Like, he doesn't know anything about, like, his flesh and blood, like, the people who made him. That's, I got a couple for descriptions, and the descriptions that I like so far have been for Hagrid. Just how giant he is, I think is hilarious. Oh, I also have these for when these, like, darker purple tabs for when like iconic scenes or scenes that I really like, and this part is Uncle Vernon going absolutely insane because I think it's hilarious that Uncle Vernon just goes mad, and I think it's so good. It is so funny, but it's all been pretty accurate to the movie so far, and I have rewatched the first and second movies this year. I've rewatched them so many times. Like, I can't even count the amount of times that I've rewatched those two specifically. Like, I haven't rewatched the other ones, so I don't even really remember what happens towards the end of the series. I only remember exactly what happens in the first two books, or in the first two movies, and I heard that the first two books are the most accurate. Did I say that right? The first two movies are the most accurate to the first two books, and then everything else kind of starts getting less accurate. So I'm excited to see what the real story is. But yeah, I will keep y'all posted. I'm so excited. Hello everyone. So I haven't been recording at all because my husband and I's friends came over. They're also a couple, but came over for her birthday and then also just to spend New Year's with them, and we had a really good time, and I really value my time with them, and so I just wanted to spend time with them. I bought Harry Potter for her because she watched the movies for the first time this year and she really wants to read them, so we're kind of going to be reading them together, so I'm excited about that. But let's have a little bit of a non-spoiler talk about how I'm really enjoying this book. I feel like this book is really good if you're having a slump and you want to read something that's just fun and new, and, you know, see that Harry's going from struggles to being like famous. And I am really enjoying that. I'm really enjoying reading about Hagrid because he was probably my favorite character growing up, just because like he reminded me a lot of my father, just kind of like a big, burly, but nice person, and that's like my dad to a T, basically. And so I really enjoyed reading about that. I didn't notice how proud Hagrid was of being who he is, and I really love that. Like, he's so just compassionate towards the people in his life, and he's very proud of who he is and what he does. I don't know, I just really love that. Like, that's so nice to read in a character. I feel like that's really refreshing. I don't know. And I like the descriptions that she has. Her writing is simple and allows for a lot of like magical elements. I feel like I really enjoyed when Ollivander was talking about his parents, and also that the wand is Voldemort's. I never understood what they meant in the movie. I thought they were giving him Voldemort's wand, but they're giving him the brother wand, basically. The feather also belonged to the phoenix of the same one phoenix, two feathers, one wand goes to Harry, the other one went to Voldemort. I thought that was really cool. I love the way that she describes Hagrid. Just a lot of the, he has these like, you know, burly features and he wore a warm smile on his face or something like that. Like, I think it's just such a sweet way of describing him. Obviously Gringotts is really cool. Like, you can see yourself on that like roller coaster. Also really smart writing for, like, I wonder if she was like, oh yeah, maybe this book will really make it and this will make like a really good ride one day at Disney or something. I don't know. I don't feel like writers like will think that far ahead. Maybe they do, but I don't know. I really like her writing. I think it's really quick and easy to get through, and you can really feel the magic in the first book just like you can in the first movie. I am excited to see what else is going to happen in this book. I haven't recorded me reading for right now because I was enjoying time with my husband while he's playing God of War, and I respect him and his privacy, and he does not want to be on YouTube, and I cannot blame anyone for that. So yeah, I'll just keep reading, and I'll try to get some shots of me reading, and yeah, you can see that I'm really enjoying it because I'm tabbing this up. Oh yeah, I'm trying to color match. I think it's working out quite well. Anyway, yeah, thanks for listening in to my little spoilers, my little talks. Tell me why I didn't know that Harry went back to live with the Dursleys for like a month or so, or a month, literally a month. I mean, it was never really explained like when Harry's birthday was, so like how was I really supposed to know about that? But yeah, that's interesting. Alright, my camera is really heavy, but we're not gonna worry about that right now. I wanted to pop in and talk about how I don't know how like Mrs. Weasley is for the rest of the book or anything, but that I really enjoy like how respectful she is with Harry even from the beginning, and how she's like, oh yeah, he's a really respectful boy, like talking to her boys, and then being like basically telling them that they need to respect him also because of what he's gone through. And I don't know, I just really liked that. I love Harry and Ron's like little interactions in the very beginning. I don't know, it's very sweet.
Spoiler talk wise, I really enjoy Harry's like internal dialogue that's like, oh, you know, Harry was just as interested with Ron as Ron was with Harry. Like, I didn't really like see that in the movie at all, but I really enjoy that. I think that's very sweet because he's like, yeah, I haven't really met any wizards. I've been friends with any wizards before. I just learned about them, and he's so like humble, but of course he is because of all the things he went through, which is also why Harry needed to go through what he went through in the beginning. He needed to go through all that trauma with the Dursleys so that he could be a respectful, you know, humble young man to become a great wizard. Otherwise, I don't know, like, what if he like didn't go through all the trauma and he was just like turned evil? Like, he probably would have went Slytherin and turned evil. Food for thought. Okay. To preface, I don't remember like any of the movies except for the first two, but I don't remember Dumbledore being so like kind of crazy and a little like erratic, spouting out random words. Like, he was always like very put together and very like calm, cool, and collected. In the book he's a bit like I said, erratic, and I'm like, this ought to be interesting. Just a thought. The setup for making Snape the bad guy is very good. Because I do remember that Snape is not a bad guy and it's Professor Quirrell. She does a really good job of it in the book. Like, I can only imagine how surprising it was to like read that for the first time and be like, oh my gosh, like I never would have thought. I would have thought it was Snape the whole time. Very good setup. I really question, like, what do we do about like diversity in books? You know, like, as J.K. Rowling is a white author, she doesn't have very much diversity in the book, but it would have been so much better if we had people from all over the world coming into Hogwarts and kind of like unifying people in that way through this like fantastical setting. However, as a white author writing other races, I feel like that could also create lots of controversy. So should she have, or should authors in the future collab with people all over the world to create characters of diverse backgrounds? Or should they just do their research? Or I don't know. I feel like it's a very interesting question of like trying to figure out how we in the future could do this better, how we can do this better now. You know, that cat's sleeping on me.
Hey, Modo. Hey, buddy. Hey, sweet baby.
What's the other thing I was gonna say? I forgot. Oh, I do enjoy that the video game has quite a bit more diversity. I think that that's really interesting, and I enjoy that. I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, the other thing I was gonna say is that we also come to the issue of like not everyone's experiences are the same no matter who you are. So even like one person of that race speaking for the race as a whole in a way is also troublesome because not everyone's experience is the same. Like, so anyway, I'm gonna continue reading. This is a fantastical book. I don't need to be thinking so seriously about it, but I am going to think seriously about it, so. I feel so dumb. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things. How yucky I look right now. That's one of the things. When in the movie they talk about how the vault was broken into, and they said, oh, well, the thieves didn't steal anything. And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I thought the whole time in the movie they were talking about Hagrid was the one stealing it. The thieves went in there after Hagrid had taken out what I'm guessing is the Sorcerer's Stone. They went in there and tried to steal it, but nothing was there. I didn't get that until now, page 142, when they spell it out for you plain and clear. Alright, y'all, so I wanted to come in to have a little conversation about Harry Potter, obviously, because that is a vlog I'm doing. I wrote on my notes because I didn't want to forget, so I'm gonna read it from here. And for me, being an adult reading this for the first time, I feel like I would have enjoyed more parts of the book if she did more of just showing and not telling. But because this book is for young people, she does a lot of telling. So she'll talk about like for example, a character does something, then there's dialogue, and you can tell that they have a certain motivation, and then the narrator-ish voice, I guess, comes in and says, which is uncharacteristic of them because of blah blah blah, or you know, some insert adjective there of like, oh, they're acting differently, or oh, they did this because of this, when you're like, yeah, I already know. But for people who maybe aren't as good at reading comprehension, or younger people, it makes sense. It makes sense that she would describe things that way, because it is a children's book or a middle grade book. And as an adult who reads mainly classic fantasy, adult fantasy, at least as of last year, I'm used to just showing and not telling. And I'm also not used to having so much dialogue. I'm enjoying the dialogue because I'm enjoying the character work and how the characters are interacting with each other, especially the Weasley twins and Ron and Harry and Hermione, and how they all act towards each other in the beginning. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. I mean, this is the first book that I have seriously been tabbing, and I have seriously been tabbing. Also, y'all, it is January 5th, and I'm feeling kind of determined to finish this book because I started it on Christmas Day, and I don't know, I really want to go to the store, go to Barnes & Noble, and get the second one. So, we'll see, but I've gotten to that point where I'm like rereading paragraphs over and over again when it's like super simple thing to read, and then I'm like, what have I just read? So we'll see. It's only 10:14 at night, so we'll see. Okay, y'all, I had to pop in. Did I scare you? I forgot to mention, when Hagrid gives Harry the flute, when he gives Harry the flute, he Hagrid hand whittled that. It's okay. I was literally crying. I was tearing up. You could ask my husband. He's not gonna say nothing though. But you could. If you knew him, you could ask him. Alright, anyway.
I did it. Yeah.
Really? Thank you. Anyway, back to reading. Y'all, I just finished it. I finally finished it, and I was literally sobbing at the end. Look at my tabs. Look at how crazy this is. So, I have a lot of nostalgia when it comes to Harry Potter, and I think that
that gave me a lot more enjoyment than I think like other people who have never read it before, especially me being 23 years old and reading about like 11-year-olds, you know, saving the school and saving the world essentially. Yeah, it's so good. I feel like me saying that wasn't a spoiler either because there's 6 more books after this, so it can't all end in the first book, you know? I gotta say, I love Ron, Harry, and Hermione and how they all have these things that make them want to prove themselves. So, you know, Harry obviously being famous and coming into this world, like, I have no idea that I was even like a part of any of this and how I'm famous and now I have to live up to these expectations that everybody has. Hermione is Muggle-born, so she feels like she has to prove herself that much more because she's like, oh, well, everybody's looking down on me because my parents are not wizards. And then you have Ron, who has all these brothers that have done all these great things, and now he's like, well, now I have to prove myself. And I feel like it's just so great that they're all in Gryffindor and they all were working to prove themselves and were so brave and courageous, and seeing their friendship develop among each other and seeing Neville more. I actually really did enjoy that because in the movie you see Neville sometimes, but I didn't know he was like as involved, but he's more involved in this, and I thought that was really cool. And I don't know if it was like because I'm an empath or what, but the end, I mean, I was literally crying with my cat curled up to me, so luckily I had some support. But oh man, this was good, y'all. This was good. If you want to get into fantasy and you don't mind reading about younger kids, I think it's great. I think it's very special. I think her character work is really good. I wasn't used to having so much dialogue, as I've mentioned before, but that did not take away my enjoyment at all. I really enjoyed it. I feel like maybe even if you didn't read these as a kid, or if you didn't watch the movies as a kid, you could still find this nostalgia. Like, I think J.K. Rowling just creates this really great nostalgia feeling without even having read it before. And yeah, I tabbed it up, and I actually wanted to use these maroon tabs for everything that happened for Ron, Harry, and Hermione specifically, and I ran out of maroon tabs towards the end. I was thinking about doing like all the characters and all the houses and like doing that, but that would be way too much. So I was like, okay, if I just stick to Ron, Harry, and Hermione, that's not gonna bother me mentally to be like, oh, but I also have to do Draco and I also have to do all these other people, and like that gets to be too much. So just doing Ron, Harry, and Hermione, the main 3 protagonists, that's fine. I'm excited to see where this goes. I don't remember the last... Okay, I only remember the first 2 movies. I know that there's 8 movies and 7 books, and I don't remember exactly all that happens. My friend was here over the holidays, and she was talking to me about her watching the movies for the first time as an adult and how much she loved them and how she's like a big fan now and she's gonna read Harry Potter. So I'm excited to hear what she has to say, like the differences between the books and the movies and everything like that. What else was I gonna say? There was a whole thought process to that. Like, there was actually gonna be something I was gonna say. Oh yeah, so she told me some stuff that happened in the movies that I literally did not remember, and I've already kind of forgotten what she said because I wanted to brain dump them because it was like, I don't want to remember what you just said because I want to know for myself, and that's why I haven't watched the last couple movies in many, many years. Probably since I was a child. I know I haven't watched the Deathly Hallows 2 since it came out. When did it come out? Let's find out. Alright. When did Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows come out? Okay. It released July 15th of 2011, and I was born in October of 2000. So I was still 10 when it came out, and that is the last time that I saw that movie. So although I may remember some parts, I know that the rest of this book series is going to be very, very interesting because I literally don't know what happens. And so it's going to be a surprise to me and a surprise to y'all. I don't know if I'm going to make the rest of the videos spoiler free or not. I think it's going to be very hard, but I think I want to try to split it up, like spoiler version and a spoiler free version, to make it 2 separate videos. Although that's more work for me, I think that I would appreciate that and that you guys are going to appreciate it. So I'm going to try to do it that way for the entire series. It's going to be tough, and the non-spoilers are probably going to be pretty short videos, but we'll see, because maybe I'll also do like life type vlogs at the same time. Just let me know what y'all are thinking, what y'all are feeling, what y'all want, and I will give it to y'all. I gotta say, I'm feeling good today, and it is because of the Lord, and I will say that. Okay, great day to finish the last book I'm so excited to see y'all next time, and next time will probably be the second book, and also probably a vlog of me going to the store to go buy it because I only have the first one, and I want to buy them all separately, you know, give myself an excuse to go to the bookstore. I'm probably gonna go today, I probably am. And it is, I started this book Christmas Day, and it's January 8th, so it was 309 pages, and it took me longer to read because I was having a lot of fun being able to spend time with my husband because he was off work, and just be able to spend quality time with him, and with having mental health issues and stuff, me being able to sit down and like read with him while he's playing a video game or something like that, me being able to just sit down and enjoy the moment and feel like I'm actually here in this moment, I'm not in my head. It was so beautiful to me. It was such a blessing from God, so I had to respect that time with my husband and put that first instead of like YouTube and reading and filming and stuff. So yeah, I will see y'all next time. I'm so excited. Bye.